Hey everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope we're doing well. I'm good. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I kind of briefly touched on in the Monday Power Talk following the press conferences. And I think it's important to revisit it. I'm getting a lot of questions right now, whether they're publicly asked or on our message boards or in person or via direct message. Do you think so-and-so is going to transfer? This team's halfway through this season. It's a question you just don't ask a young man until the season's over. And at that point, they'll make up their own mind and make their own announcement. They don't need us to do that anymore. And honestly, if I'm a coach, I'm not going to appreciate a member of the media asking my guys, "You going to transfer in the middle of the season?" So, no, I don't know who's going to transfer. I don't know if this guy or that guy will transfer. I don't know who's in or who's out. And plus, they might not either. If they do, maybe some of these guys are like, "I'm out of here. This ain't working." And let's be honest. Do you blame them? Because that's the option they're given. They don't have to fight through it and try to fix things like players of old did. They can just pack up and go somewhere else and start over, which I respect. And I think they should have that opportunity. I just think too many players, young people, now run from adversity when they need the adversity to get where they actually need to go. It's a hard choice. I mean, it is. How do you know that you're just never going to put it together at the school and you need a fresh start? Because we've seen that happen. We see kids move on through the portal. Julius Brents comes to K-State from Iowa. He wasn't really getting it done there, and now he's an NFL player, and he had a great career at Kansas State. So no, I don't know if this quarterback, that running back, that receiver, or a young tight end, and you know who I'm talking about, those are the guys I'm getting questions about. And it would suck if they left. It would be unfortunate. But if this team's 4-8, is it unfortunate? Now look, I know that these are really good players that you're asking about. You're not asking about just some guy. You're asking about the young stars or the guys that will be seniors, the ones that you kind of rely on, that without them you'd be an awful football team. But they're not leaving in the middle of the season. They would be leaving at the end of a season when you can get into the portal and go find other people, or just start rebuilding with the young guys who you think have a lot of promise themselves. Yeah, the portal does change everything, and I'm like, it's just the world in which we exist. And I see these comments where they shouldn't be paying players, they shouldn't allow them to transfer. Folks, this wasn't the decision of the NCAA to allow this. They had to give in because they lost court cases or they knew they would lose court cases. It wasn't completely voluntary, and I do believe that players should have the right to make money off of who they are within reason. They should have the right to transfer within reason. Not a new place every year. You got to understand this. These are, for the moment, still student athletes. How do you have a transcript that allows you to go to another school when you've been at 3 different schools in 3 years? How do you even have the eligibility requirements to do that? I don't know. Again, I said this the other day. I don't have answers for this. I'm with you. I think it's all screwed up. But I know you're worried about next season already because you've written this off. First of all, don't, because I'm seeing positive signs from this team. And as I said in the Power Talk, also that this game with TCU is enormous. They have a chance to win one and kind of get some momentum going into Kansas. But they are halfway through. They are 2-4. And they'd have to go 4-2 down the stretch against the tougher part of their schedule to get even bowl eligible and be able to play in the anything bowl. But I'm not asking anyone if they're going to transfer. And I'm not going to address those thoughts right now because I think, well, they're not ideal to do that to these guys. Now, if I hear a lot of talk, a lot of disruption in the locker room, I think I did that last year. I'll let you know. And some of you won't like it. Some of you will still complain about it if a guy is telling all his teammates he's leaving and doing so vocally. That's the most disturbing thing about the current state of college athletics. You got guys that are in midseason who aren't bought in, who are already looking to leave. That's kind of grotesque. It says a lot about them. And if they are that way, no matter how talented they are you going to be better with them or without them? Because you're not just going to be without them, you're going to be able to spend some money and go get some players to fill their spots. You see, K-State kind of focuses that money on retaining players. And if all their top NIL earners leave, they will have to flip that. They're not just going to give it away to anyone on the roster. They're going to go find some guys that can make the team better. Let's worry about this at a later date. I know this, I'm not transferring. Well, I don't have any options. Nobody would take me. My wife asked me if I'd go into the portal, and then she realized she's stuck. You're stuck with me too. See you Saturday at the Bill. I think you'll be there. I hope you'll be there.